Welcome to a two-part video that might be a little bit weird at the end. So let's start with looking at this lock. It's the lock or the core of the bicycle lock that I picked and cut in one of my recent videos, the pink bicycle lock. It's a slider lock, and I drilled out the rivet here and I drilled out the rivet from the cylinder so we can now look inside. So I can just pull this part out and we can see how this works. So this is, let's say, the housing. It has a built-in plate that's under spring tension. You can see the force that is required to push this in against the spring tension, and we have a little hole inside, and the bolt has a round cutout here. So now how this works is by using a metal ball. If the metal ball goes in goes in there, you can imagine when there is something that pushes the metal ball down, the bolt will stay in place, and if there's enough room for the bolt to rise, the bolt can slide out. So, and here is the lock. It's looking like this, and here is the round cutout. When this portion of the core is on top of the ball bearing, it can be pushed into that hollow part, and so there is enough room for the bolt to slide out. And if you turn the plug, then there is a flat portion that's sitting on the metal ball, and the bolt is secured in place. So now to this part, it contained actually of multiple sub parts. That's the, how can I say, the cam, so to speak. That's the part that rotates when we turn the inner plug, driven by this part here, by this nose, or whatever you want to call it. And then we have the lock itself, and it has a plug that we can slide out, and the housing. And that's more or less like just a regular wafer lock. We can see the two cutouts here inside the big chamber. And when the wafers stick out, you can imagine that the plug cannot turn. If you have the key, the right key with the right bitting, all the wafers will go down and it's flush here, and then you can rotate the plug within this big cylinder here. The wafers are manipulated or driven by little sliders that are on the inside, and currently the wafer sticks out, and if you move it down, there is a state where it's flush, and if you pull it down too far, you can see how it sticks out on the other side. Yeah, we can extract one of these wafers, so we can look at the way this is built. That's hard. They are pretty tight in there. Don't know why this is the case, but I will get it out sooner or later. I had it out once. Maybe I push it through with my screwdriver. Oops, and here we go. So here it's out. That's one of these wafers. That's the part that sits on the spring on the outside. Here you can see the spring. That's why the wafer is spring loaded. And that's the inside part. So that's actually the slider that we can manipulate with picks, or that can be moved by the key with the right bitting. Yeah, it's practically just a wafer lock with the option, or with a property that the wafers are not moved directly as this is the case normally, but it's driven by this little pin here, which I would call a slider lock then. All right, so video has already been very long now for what I actually expected it to be for this part. So I think I will make this second part in an extra video. The weird part will be in another video after that. So far, so good. Thanks for watching, and until we meet again, happy picking, cheers, and bye-bye.